We're kicking off today with proof that there has never been a line that MJF isn't willing to cross in a bid to gain heat, and at AEW Grand Slam Mexico, he took that to a whole new level. MJF angered the AEW audience so much that one fan took things to extreme measures and confronted the former AEW World Champion at his hotel later that night. According to Fightful Select, MJF ended up in a tense spot in Mexico City, with the situation turning heated fast. Raised voices were heard before other fans got involved to stop the situation from going any further, and thankfully, nobody got hurt in the moment. While it could have been a scary moment, MJF handled it like a true heel, reportedly laughed it all off, and took pride in the madness unfolding. He was said to have been okay and laughed the situation off and was proud of it. MJF had been involved in a brutal match against Místico that night, where he had gotten himself disqualified. However, the post-match decision to unmask Místico and put it on his head sent fans over the edge. MJF had set the tone in the weeks leading up to the match, as his promos had become increasingly more aggressive, showcasing no respect towards Místico, taking the situation to a personal level. The fact that he had a run-in with a fan shows that everything MJF has been doing is working from a storyline perspective, as this is the level of heat he wants to gain. With the lines blurred and real-life danger being thrown into the mix, MJF now has to navigate things in an old-school way. Do you think MJF took things too far at Grand Slam Mexico, or was this precisely the kind of reaction he wanted? Please share your thoughts and feedback in the comments section below. LA Knight is another major name in the wrestling world, and there is a possibility that he will be moving to Monday Night Raw on a full-time basis soon, which is a decision the WWE Universe appears to be supporting. According to WrestleVotes, there has been an internal push to move the former United States champion over to the Red brand to be part of Netflix's exclusive broadcast. This would be a significant change for Knight, and while he's been a top name on Smackdown, the feeling is that his energy, charisma, and popularity with the fans could provide a fresh spark on Monday nights. According to those within the company, we're told that more than a handful of people are advocating for LA Knight to be moved to the Raw brand soon, as his presence on Netflix could be viewed as something of a refreshing change. Big names within the WWE creative team, including Bruce Pritchard, are pushing for this to happen, proving just how many people believe this move will be beneficial. Despite his star power, Knight has only ever wrestled twice on Raw throughout his career, once against Ivar in an Elimination Chamber qualifying match in February 2024, with the other being the year prior in March against Cody Rhodes. Knight has made a few appearances on Raw lately, which might have been a tease for something bigger down the line. Fans are eager for him to receive a significant push, and a move to Raw could be what's needed for WWE to stick a rocket to him. Whether WWE pulls the trigger on the move remains to be seen, however, there's clearly momentum backstage for that to happen. WWE is already putting together internal plans for SummerSlam, and according to Fightful Select, Damian Priest is being factored into them. The former Money in the Bank winner has been dealing with several injuries in recent weeks, having worked through them just as Drew McIntyre did during their recent feud. Priest is pushing through them to be part of SummerSlam, which he sees as a home game for himself due to the event being held in New Jersey. Even though he was knocked out of the King of the Ring tournament, Priest is expected to be featured on the show, and now it remains to be seen who he'll be working with for the biggest party of the summer. Speaking of the King of the Ring tournament, Randy Orton and Sami Zayn are set to collide in one of the semifinal matches on Smackdown tonight, with both men looking to book their places at the final at Night of Champions. Nick Aldis announced the match earlier this week to build the anticipation for this premium live event-worthy match. However, eagle-eyed fans think they have spotted an unintentional spoiler ahead of time. Last week, a bunch of first-round matches took place for the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments, and a crown was placed on the heads of all the winners in the promotional graphics. This was also the case on Raw, with Jey Uso having that subtle artwork above his head. Ahead of Orton's clash against Zayn, fans have pointed out that the crown has returned once again, with the Viper being shown in that way. This has led fans to believe Orton will be the man progressing to the final, although nothing is confirmed. If Orton were to win, he could face his former Legacy stablemate Cody Rhodes, who will be facing Jey Uso in the other semifinal next week on Raw. Whether WWE has accidentally leaked the winner for SmackDown will remain to be seen, as the company could just be playing some mind games with the audience. Do you think WWE accidentally leaked the semifinal winner, or is this all part of the tease? Sound off in the comments. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. WWE Hall of Famer Goldberg isn't backing down from critics, and that includes fellow wrestling veteran Bully Ray. While speaking to Jacob Sports, Goldberg responded to Bully Ray's recent comments, questioning why he should suddenly be in line for a major match without earning it or working his way back up the card. Goldberg didn't hold back. He made it clear that his legendary undefeated streak speaks for itself. I was 176-0. I don't have to stand in freaking line. I don't think so either. Yeah, exactly. So Bully Ray can bite me. He acknowledged that everyone's entitled to an opinion, especially someone like Bully Ray, who regularly shares his thoughts on a wrestling podcast. Still, Goldberg didn't hesitate to call it like he sees it. I love him to death and I respect his opinion, but his opinion is like everybody's got one, right? So that's fine. When asked why he wants one more match, Goldberg didn't hesitate to bring up his final WWE appearance, a disappointing loss to Roman Reigns at a Saudi Arabia event. He revealed he was recovering from COVID-19 at the time, hadn't trained properly, and felt caught off guard by how abruptly things ended. According to Goldberg, he had a retirement match lined up with Vince McMahon, but when McMahon exited the company, so did that promise. Years later, a surprising call from Triple H reignited the idea. Out of the blue, I get a phone call from Triple H asking if I'm still interested in the retirement match, and, I had to think about it for a second, but, instantly your answer is yes, so that you can go out on your own terms and rectify, what people saw before. But it was what he said next that truly grabbed attention. Goldberg pulled no punches about where he sees himself among today's wrestlers. At 58 years old, if I have to go in there hobbled, if I have to go in there 30 pounds lighter, I don't give a because I have a point to make. And at 58 years old, can I still make that point? I don't know, but I'm going to do my best, and my best is 99. My best, 50% of me, is better than 99% of the pricks on the planet. I believe it is. That one line says it all. Goldberg isn't just making a return, he's calling out the entire locker room, past and present. Whether it's the new generation or the workhorses of today, he's putting them all on notice. Even with age, ring rust, and injuries stacked against him, Goldberg believes half of what he brings is still more dangerous than what most others offer at full strength. And if that doesn't fire up the roster, nothing will. In a more reflective moment, Goldberg also spoke about the infamous kick that ended Bret Hart's career. He admitted the accident has weighed on him for years, explaining that he was still green in the ring and made a mistake, one he deeply regrets to this day. I was still learning. Everyone makes mistakes. I just hope people can understand that. From remorse to raw confidence, Goldberg is heading into what could be his final match with nothing left to hide. He's chasing closure, and he's not planning to tiptoe out. He's ready to blast his way out one last time. Do you think Goldberg still has something left in the tank, or is this comeback one spear too many? Sound off in the comments below. In AEW news, fans inside Arena Mexico were greatly surprised after Dynamite Grand Slam Mexico wrapped up and went off the air on June 18, 2025. After the show finished, Blue Panther was attacked when Bryan Danielson appeared unexpectedly. The former WWE superstar burst out from the back and signaled several luchadors to hit the ring and help Blue Panther, with Danielson getting involved in the action. He nailed one of the attackers with his Boo Psycho knee finisher as the ring was cleared, and the fans screamed in excitement. Danielson raised Blue Panther's hand to end the show, which was a special moment for the live crowd, as this was his first physical appearance since losing the AEW World title to Jon Moxley at Wrestle Dream last year. Unfortunately, Danielson still isn't medically cleared due to his ongoing neck issues. However, that didn't prevent him from trying to help Blue Panther, who is well known for being a wrestler that Danielson greatly respects. Should AEW bring Bryan Danielson back full-time, or is this the kind of moment he should save for special nights like this? Please share your thoughts and feedback in the comments section below. Another surprising moment from Dynamite Grand Slam Mexico was Hangman Page's promo, as he kicked off the show by speaking in fluent Spanish, much to the excitement of the live crowd. CMLL was reportedly impressed by Page's promo and immediately took notice of what he had to say. According to Brian Alvarez on Wrestling Observer Live, CMLL is now begging for dates and wants to work with Page badly. Whether that happens will remain to be seen, though it proves that Page's star power continues to grow within the industry, opening up another opportunity to expand his career. Hook has been off AEW television for several months due to a concussion, having been written off during the April 9th episode of Dynamite. However, it was recently confirmed on Wrestling Observer Live that his return to action is near. Hook made a brief appearance at Double or Nothing's Anarchy in the Arena match as he attacked Claudio Castagnoli, showcasing that he has unfinished business with the veteran. Hook's return would be welcomed by AEW fans due to his popularity, and that could massively shake things up with the Death Riders' overall storyline. Are you looking forward to Hook's return? Share your thoughts below. Speaking of Castagnoli, he was missing from the most recent episode of AEW Dynamite as he was replaced by the Beast Mortos in the main event, leaving fans confused as to where the former WWE superstar was. Fortunately, Brian Alvarez confirmed that Castagnoli is fine during the latest Wrestling Observer Live, stating that he was simply unable to make the show. While that doesn't solve the mystery as to why Castagnoli wasn't involved in the show, fans can at least breathe a sigh of relief that he should be back immediately. WWE's acquisition of AAA has led to plenty of early success so far, with Mr. Iguana catching the eyes of many people. However, the company is keeping an eye on all of the AAA talent, and Psycho Clown has now broken through as someone WWE is monitoring. WrestleVotes has revealed that WWE is very interested in bringing him to the main roster as the company has been drawn to his unique character. They believe there's some strong marketing potential with Psycho Clown, which is why WWE sees good value in him. Psycho Clown has been a mainstay in AAA since 2007 and has been a significant success for the promotion, becoming one of the company's biggest stars in the process. Mr. Iguana is believed to be finalizing a deal with WWE at the moment, proving that the company is wasting no time in locking in whichever AAA stars they're impressed with. It proves that WWE is embracing the global aspect of wrestling, and there's no doubt a massive section of fans who would love to see Psycho Clown get an opportunity on WWE's main roster to grow his name. NXT's women's division has been a key part of the brand recently, and this week one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time was backstage. According to Fightful Select, Gail Kim was in the building during the June 17th episode of the show. It was revealed that this wasn't the first time she'd been backstage at NXT, as she's been present for multiple shows lately. Kim isn't signed to WWE in any official capacity, however the company is interested in bringing the former WWE Women's Champion on board after her recent TNA firing, which caused a lot of internal turmoil in that company. The online wrestling world can be difficult to navigate for those working in the industry, and that challenge is intensified for the decision makers who impact everything, such as WWE President Nick Khan. However, he made it clear during an open, honest conversation on What's Your Story with Stephanie McMahon that he pays no attention at all to whatever people are saying about him, good or bad. In fact, Khan doesn't even search his own name to gauge whether or not people are happy with him. Khan doesn't think anonymous opinions reflect reality, and he trusts the opinions of those around him who can give him real feedback. The WWE president focuses on his work rather than trying to gain positive comments from those online. Khan pushes that mindset to WWE's entire creative operation, as he doesn't want the company trying to appease an internet audience, even though they might be the most vocal fans on social media. Instead, he wants WWE to appeal to the broader global audience, even if they might be more casual. We try to program for the universe, not the people who want to criticize you. That doesn't mean we don't care what people think, but it means we care more about everyone, not just the loudest voices. You want to serve the biggest audience, not the smallest, angriest one. He shares that idea with Triple H, and the two men are trying to reinforce it across the entire creative department, hoping that the writers will focus on the data and not the online discourse. Paul and I talk about it all the time. We train our creative team to ignore the noise, trust the data, trust your instincts. Don't let Twitter or Reddit or whatever throw you off your game. Even though the WWE universe is able to have a big influence, as WWE's rehiring of R-Truth recently proved, this message is clear. WWE isn't focusing on the online noise and is instead being driven by long-term storytelling over brief internet trends. Do you agree with WWE tuning out social media when making creative choices, or do you think fan feedback online deserves more attention? Let us know your take in the comments below. Vince McMahon may no longer be working alongside WWE's top brass, however, a former WWE employee has already joined his new investment company, 14th & I. While it's still early for that company, Ringside News has revealed that Beth Fisher is now working for her former boss as head of administration. Fisher worked as WWE's head of corporate social responsibility for 13 years before being released in May 2024, and now she's looking to get back into work. It's the latest news in a number of updates that show McMahon is quietly building something, as he's already hired Kristen Prody and attempted to purchase Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. However, the exact details of what McMahon is quietly brewing up remain to be seen. Charlotte Flair's never been one to hold back, especially when it comes to her real-life and in-ring rivalry with Becky Lynch. During a recent appearance on the Games with Names podcast, the multi-time champion opened up about where things currently stand between her and the man, and why she believes their story might not be over yet. When asked about her current relationship with Becky, Flair made it clear that while the tension has cooled down, there's still unfinished business between them. "We're cordial, no, we're good. I still think there's some story left there. There's more meat on that bone. I don't think there's a nail in the coffin yet." Flair also looked back on what she considers one of her most powerful showdowns, the Survivor Series 2021 Champion vs. Champion match. The match was memorable not just for the in-ring action, but also for the real-life tension that surrounded it. "Our Survivor Series match was actually really incredible," she recalled. "Becky and I have had a lot of great matches, but that one was pretty incredible too." To jog fans' memory, things took a serious turn behind the scenes in late 2021. On the October 22nd episode of Smackdown, Lynch and Flair were drafted to opposite brands while holding the opposing brands' titles, Becky with the Smackdown Women's title, Flair with the Raw Women's title. WWE planned a title exchange segment to keep the belts aligned with their respective brands, however, the segment quickly went off script. Flair dropped her title on the mat instead of handing it over properly, forcing Lynch to awkwardly pick it up. In response, Lynch tossed her own belt at Flair. Tensions boiled over backstage afterward, with reports claiming Flair attempted to undermine Becky's credibility. Although the confrontation never turned physical, it left a lasting mark on both their relationship and WWE's women's division. Despite all of it, one thing remains clear: their chemistry is undeniable. Whether standing as allies or locked in bitter conflict, Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch have helped define an era of women's wrestling, and if Flair's recent comments are anything to go by, the story may not be over yet. Would you like to see one more chapter in the Charlotte-Becky rivalry, or should both women move on to new battles? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We're ending today with former NXT star Cora Jade, who is now working as Elayna Black, who has been opening up about her surprising release recently during an interview with Chris Van Vliet, where she believes things got personal. Jade was adamant that she was misled after a productive creative meeting just days before she was brutally cut from the company, and she saw that coming ahead of time. I think it was like 2 weeks before I had texted Mandy and I was like, hey, I think I'm getting fired, I need some advice and whatever. And she was like, girl, whatever happens, you're gonna be fine. Immediately, she got all the resources for me, all the advice. She's literally so helpful. She's been not only like a wrestling mother to me, but like a business and management type mother to me. Jade revealed that 2 days before being released, she had a positive one-on-one meeting with someone in WWE Creative where she'd pitched numerous ideas for her future. The unknown individual was receptive to them, and that ultimately meant she was blindsided when WWE cut her, making the situation even more frustrating and upsetting. Jade still looks back on her WWE run with pride, and after being one of NXT's top stars throughout her run, that's something she should do, as Jade proved that she's one of the brightest sparks in wrestling today. Do you think WWE did Elayna Black dirty? Please share your thoughts and feedback in the comments section below.